especially with some of the larger productions, at actually showing us the gameplay and the content. But yeah, admittedly, it's pretty crazy. Then again, poker and, I don't know, MOBAs to an extent, and especially CCG, very luck-based games that are still incredibly competitive. So yeah, Battle Royales, why not? They got some hurdles to overcome, and I think these are the 5 the best shots at overcoming them. Alright guys, so starting out our list, we have a game called Spellbreak. Little known, actually this game is becoming freaking viral, which is exactly what you want whenever a game has the potential to be a sport. Now, we actually have a dev diary where they speak about how they do want the game to be an esport, but they want it to grow organically, so they're not going to artificially inflate it in any kind of way like Overwatch League, or what we see with some big names like Epic with Fortnite. It's going to be probably more of a community-based effort. However, we can already see from responses of people who have heard about Spellbreak, like from Ninja saying, wow, this is obviously a high skill ceiling game. This is going to be a skill-based competitive game. Of course, I can't divulge any more than that. I can't show you any of my own footage, but I do play, and I can say that I'm excited for you guys to play. And, you know, looking through the footage here, actually new footage from the montage series that they are actually uploading to their YouTube channel made by the people who are actually playing the game. So they're advertising the game with player-made montages. If that doesn't show an air of competition, I don't know what does. But this game obviously is a big, giant, explosive spectacle of a game, and I think as a spectator sport, you really want that. You know, there's some debate over how chaotic it might be. It's also a battle royale, of course. There's always the argument of how much chaos is too much chaos, how much luck is too much luck. But in the end, Spellbreak, if you can just look closely, physics-based gameplay, combo, magic-based, aim-based gameplay in a shooter genre here. And of course, with the spell combos, you would think that this would really rely on duos and squads. It could make for a really awesome community-run sort of esports circuit of sorts. And already people are actually making tournaments, even though it's a pre-alpha with an NDA on. So kind of ridiculous how fanatical people already are for Spellbreak. Even those who haven't even played it, you can just look at the game. I know, you're feeling it right now, and you feel your teeth sharpening against your tongue. You're thirsty, you're hungry, and you want to jump in. Okay, so next up, number 4, Ring of Elysium. Now on stream, I had a blast actually playing this. There were so many little mechanics that I had to learn, but a lot of it just kind of came naturally too, because in a way, it kind of is a PUBG clone, but there are some little changes here and there and everywhere that actually kind of make it almost like a totally different genre. This game is going to outseat H1Z1, which is already established, already has had tournaments, and already is an esport and could grow. I just don't think it will. I don't think it's going to be fun, and just frankly, I like to sit different games because of different reasons, and because of momentum, and I think Ring of Elysium is just kind of more of a fun game to me, so yeah, maybe my bias is showing. But in the end, yeah, it's like H1Z1. It's an arcade/simulation shooter that has some pretty intense simulation mechanics with the physics of the shooting, and also, you know, a lot of the customization that you kind of see in PUBG, really, but overall it's just faster. And then there's this really cool gimmick where you actually start the game either with a glider kit, a snowboard kit, or a rock climbing kit. And yeah, it's set in a snowy environment, and the gimmick is that there's a snowstorm encroaching upon you, and you have to snowboard your way out of there. Boogie it. No, really, it's basically PUBG, but like on crack. And it feels much faster, but at the same time, it's still slow and simulated. It's got a nice mix of gameplay that you might see in more ridiculously cartoon games, or maybe a game like Battlefield. So hey, maybe the new Battlefield, if they come out with a Battle Royale, will unseat this game, but right now, it's in a really sexy spot. That, of course, it definitely deserves a little bit more polish and time, but they've already had tournaments. So announcing this game as Ring of Elysium, before it was known as Europa, but going free to play, they announced it, they had a little competition, and I think in China, this game's gonna be really popular. It actually already is really popular even in the West, so somewhere, somehow, Ring of Elysium is going to catch an audience. Those who fail to really be engaged with PUBG and then also don't like the arcadey nature of any other, Battle Royale, Ring of Elysium is just teetering right there on the fence of sexiness for so many players. All right, but halfway on our list, we have Call of Duty Blackout. And I'm not really going to sit here and talk about Call of Duty mechanics or the changing. I'm not really going to go into the intimacies here because it's making the list, and specifically at number 3, for just really one big reason. And that's because Call of Duty is established as a name. And Blackout, which was supposed to just be kind of a for fun game mode, something additive, is actually kind of decent. Like everyone's is saying that, it's good. It's pretty nice. And it's really freaking popular, specifically this Battle Royale game mode. And Call of Duty is already competitive on the PlayStation 4. And that's really, I think, a weak spot for a couple of these games. Some of them are going to be mainly PC focused, well, obviously like all of them. And then some are going to be maybe mobile focused actually. But on the PS4, while many of these games do exist and probably will be ported there eventually, Call of Duty already, it sits itself very well there. Call of Duty Blackouts will probably be the premier competitive, Battle Royale on PS4, just straight out because it's already Call of Duty. They already have those lines and ties, and that's it. Some people don't agree with that. Some people want to say that, well, you got to make a good game first and whatever. But the thing is that Call of Duty Blackout is not a bad game. It is incredibly polished. And whether you like it or not, whether it is innovative or not, it really doesn't matter. It's solid, plays good, people like it, people want to watch it, and on PS4, it is almost certainly going to have competitions with lots of money, and people already able to just traverse from normal Call of Duty gameplay into the Battle Royale. Easy as pie. The publishing and the promotion matters almost more than the actual gameplay, but luckily here in this case, the gameplay is at least face value, not as buggy as a lot of games, even some on this list, so there's that. Okay, well, number 2 is the game that you knew would be on this list, obviously. Well, I mean, you know the next one is too, but PUBG Player Unknown Battlegrounds. So this game is only number 2, but in a way, it's kind of number 1. So let's just go ahead and talk about how I think it could be number 1, or why it is so high ranking, even though there's so many other games that are kind of taking a piece of its pie, like Ring of Elysium, actually, and now Call of Duty Blackout. But see, PUBG already it exists in a tournament form. Then again, H1Z1 did too, but PUBG is kind of blowing it out of the water. Like, it's insane how big it is in Asia for the mobile market. And I know some people just sighed. Keyboard warriors, you're already typing furiously. But the thing is PUBG actually is a competent game on mobile devices, and the gameplay, the flow of it, works like kind of perfectly for mobile, other than being a shooter. But like, this Battle Royale really mostly focuses on positioning, timing, teamwork, communication, and sight lines, sure, but it's not really a reflex shooter. It's not going to be a Spellbreak, right? It's not even Call of Duty. It's way more slower, way more methodical, and way more planning based. And that actually really works for mobile devices, which are crazy in China. And yes, they already have set up tournaments, big championships, big money, baby. And it's actually kind of fun to watch too. Other than that, of course, you still have the base PC game, which is still, in all of its seriousness, the premier simulation FPS or third-person shooter, but yeah, mainly FPS Battle Royale game. Of course, there's other games trying to take a piece of the pie. There is always H1Z1, and even if you don't think it competes, in a way, the more arcadey stuff like Spellbreak and Fortnite will kind of, because it is in the BR genre. And there's only so much room for that eSport spotlight, in a way. So PUBG got a lot of money, got a lot of support. It's still ridiculously popular. It had some wind taken out of its sails-ish. Not really. Fortnite just actually captivated the world itself. So, don't got to worry about that. PUBG's still freaking amazing, especially in China there. So PUBG is going to have big tournaments. It will be a sport. Whether it continuously does that or not, I'm debating. I think it might be more faddish. We have to see how it works with mobile. But overall, PUBG is still a pretty solid game. And I think it needs to update quicker. It needs to be faster. And it needs to promote itself more seriously. It needs to just take itself more seriously, better, faster, and everything. But for what it is, it's just got so much momentum, it's not failing anytime soon. Even H1Z1 is still chugging along, so yeah, no, I think we're good to go. And our number 1 Battle Royale, that will be in esports, is Fortnite. The truth is that it's already an esport, so I mean, that's why it's number 1. However, of course, things can come and go easily. Like, games like For Honor even had a tournament, though that might have a resurgence. Some mobile games will have one competition. Games can be kind of popular for a fad, and then they try something and then it ends. But no, Fortnite has proven itself not as a fad in any one way. It's on all platforms, and it will probably have competitions on all those platforms. It's even already have built-in tournaments, built-in scoring, and we're probably going to have more and more stuff like that, ranking, all that good stuff. Leaderboards, baby. All that's going to be in there. It's going to be a competitive game. It just is a competitive game. And if you already just are watching the esports, which, because it is, like, if you watch the Twitch broadcast, the 99-player LAN tournaments, you're watching these, you can see the production value already being pumped in. So many other games had so much worse awkward baby steps, such as PUBG. But Epic is just like, hey, we're getting a lot of money. Let's pump that in to Fortnite in every way. The skins, the gameplay, the meta events. And some people would say this is beside the point, but also looking outside of the game, the actual, like, the camera work, the tools that they're giving us, like the replay system and all these things that allow us to watch the game. It's like, oh, that's not the gameplay. No. As an esport, spectating freaking matters, and Epic is hitting it out of the park. As somebody who video game captures the art, as somebody who makes trailers, as somebody who wants to cast, and as somebody who just loves esports, I'm looking at all these different aspects that go into the spectating and the consumption of this video game, and obviously the game itself. Dude, in every way, it is as good as you could expect for a game that's blossoming and trying something so radically weird and different. And, as a spectator sport, 100 players jumping down, building, all the ridiculous weapons, all the little nuance. How are you going to show that off? Well, they're doing a freaking great job, and it's only going to get better from here. So yeah, full force, full trust in Fortnite. And look, friends, whether you want to admit it or not, Fortnite is the most popular game on the planet right now, basically, and it makes a ton of money, and that money can fuel the tournaments. Bigger tournament pools means more people trying to go into the competitions, means more competition literally. They're taking it more seriously, which means, you know, everyone's talking about it, everyone's playing it, everyone's enjoying it, everyone's watching it, which means more money goes back into the game to make the game better, more serious, more fair. And it's just a win-win-win for everybody. That's it. That's the 5. I don't have much to say. This is an ignited genre that is so explosive, and it's a fad. A lot of these games are going to probably disappear. This top 5, I just think, is the most likely candidates to stick around. Some of them obvious, some of them, you know, maybe I'm a little bit stretchy, but I think that in the end, as spectators and as players, these games are the ones that have the most power.